So here we go. This is how you build a controller. So you'll require 2 of these Everwell. I picked these up off Amazon. I think by the time they were landed they were about $90 each. I bought a bunch of them. So I build coolers. So I'll explain that in a second. For this cooler, my mobile trailer cooler, I'm going to run a double gang box. So I can run an external fan. The AC unit will plug into one. The other one will be controlled side. So if you want a fan to run while your AC's on, it'll run in there. I want a light or a saw or whatever in the thing. In my cooler I can cut in half game or whatever. So you need 2 of those controllers. I bought a couple of these. These are bulkhead connectors to go into the box to drill your own hole. This is an 8x8 PVC, 8x8x4 PVC box, and it fits these controllers quite nicely. This is a double gang PVC external box. I'm going to put a stainless cover on it. That's going to be inside the trailer. This is going to be outside the trailer. There's the stainless cover. You need a night light. This is a 7 watt bulb. That's enough to heat the coolers I have built in the past. This one now has a secondary thermocoupler, so we're going to see if that's going to be enough. Might have to move up to a 15 amp. I shorted out my extension cord on the door of the cooler the other day, so that's going to be donated. That's a nice heavy extension cord, so that's going to run down to a generator on the front of the cooler, or you can just plug it in directly to your house. Some nice add-ons, and like I can't tell you how many guys have problems with coolers and constantly open the door. Well, here's how to fix that. You know, it might take 15-20 minutes, it might take an hour, it might take 2 hours. This is an analog temperature gauge. Again, Amazon. You want to run in that blue zone right there when you're hanging game or meat. Or you can adjust to compensate for what you want it. But you stick this on the outside of your cooler. You don't have to go in there. You don't have to interrupt the cycle. You know, it might take half an hour. It might take 45. Like I say, it might take a day in some cases if you're not using a big enough air conditioning unit to run your cooler down. This system is designed to shut down in the event that the evaporator freezes. It's just like some of the store-bought units, like a Coolbot or something along those lines. So I'm going to explain how this works. My power is coming in here. It comes to the terminal that allows it on the rise to apply power to the light bulb. The light bulb heats the thermocoupler from the air conditioner. So first of all, we come in through here, out through there, into this controller. There's another controller in here. Same thing. So one wire comes in through here, out through there, and goes to the light bulb to control the light bulb. Every other wire theoretically could pass through these without touching them, but it's a good idea to run a ground. There's a ground casing there, and connect and just continue on through. So basically how it works is you're controlling. If the evaporator temperature falls below, I set mine on a startup probably -3 to -5. It runs the cooler down nice and quick. So if this thermocoupler doesn't freeze up in the evaporator, it runs that box down pretty quick. At that point, it switches over to your room temperature. And I like to mount the room temperature quite close to my analog gauge to know that I'm actually running at that temperature. You know, if it's 6 feet away, it doesn't really give you an honest opinion. So I will get into the wiring of this. Okay guys, here we are. Got it all wired up. I hope you understand it. I've switched, so my control, I switched to blue so you can understand this. Blue wire is a control wire. All the blue wire does is control this outlet. This extension cord controls this outlet. So this is my constant 120. The air conditioner is going to be plugged in here. I can run a saw in there. I'm going to run a fan that's timed so that when my AC is running and my light bulb is on, I can run a fan to circulate air so that cold air gets completely throughout the cooler. Wired up the controllers. Your first one wired up is always going to be your evap controller, right? So, and I run mine, like I say, on average at -3 to -5 to bring that box down quick. I can bring a 6x4 box down to 32 degrees in probably 15 minutes. And then what it does is it switches over to my room controller. And my room controller, I normally run about 32. So in the event that the evaporator freezes at, say, -3, say if there's, I don't really normally run into this. I have had issues in the past when I run single controllers, but if it gets to -3 and freezes the thermocoupler, see there's separate thermocouplers. So if it freezes the thermocoupler, it shuts it down. It has the whereabouts to shut the power off to the light bulb. Boom, it's off. So there's constant power here all the time, unless it freezes the evaporator core. So the power leaves this controller and comes into this controller. Same location. So here we go again. If all the parameters are met here and it's not -5 or say between -3 and -5 in my evaporator core, this one will now control it. My room will now control it. And I set my room normally, I like to run my room down to about 32 degrees and have a slow build up. So there we go. Let's turn the light bulb on and off if those parameters are met. So the other thing you have to think about is that this light bulb takes a while to heat up. It takes a while to heat the sensor up to trick the air conditioner, because you're going to tape the thermocoupler out of the air conditioner. You're going to tape it to this light bulb. This is a 7-watt light bulb. This new AC unit I'm using also has a secondary sensor, so I'm going to have to tape those both. I might need a bigger light bulb. I might need a 15-watt light bulb to produce enough heat within those parameters. You're going to have a delay to heat those sensors. You're also going to have a delay on the rundown of those sensors. So how this works, that's just coming out of the wall outlet. I have my neutral, my ground, and my power, my line in. So I have my ground, and it grounds just the same as the green wire. It's just going to the box. You can see it right there, going to the box right there. My blue is coming off my black, because it's just a control wire. It's just, with these parameters are met, it allows power to flow through. So blue comes off of there into this controller, down through the bottom. Your controllers might be different, so don't follow this. No sense following this wiring diagram. That's how I wire these ones in. So blue comes in down the bottom, leaves the top, comes over to here, down the bottom, leaves the top, out through there. This is my control signal now leaving. One wire is controlled by these two controllers. It comes out of there and goes to this outlet. You can look down in there and you can see my blue. My blue takes the place of the black. And now on this side, I have a black going to that outlet. So I have a constant 120 on this side, black and white and green. Green through here, the ground, the buzz bar that goes through here. Blue is my power. As long as the parameters met, I have power on this outlet. I have a white jumpering these two so that I have my neutral. So I have my earth, my ground, I have my power, and then I have my neutral on both. So it's a very simple system. Like I say, you have to fiddle around with it, but I told you the parameters that I start with, and you can fiddle with it from there. Get an analog gauge so you don't have to go in. This one's also, I'm going to be able to, this box is going in the cooler. These are going into this project box here. It's an 8 by 4 inch deep. This will all fit in there. The buzz bar for the power is going to be screwed there. I'm going to put a light. The light's going to come off of here as well, off my constant 120. And it's just a matter of running it like a normal household outlet to the box and then to the light. Explosion proof light. I like using those so you're not getting glass everywhere if it gets broken. This system, I can't remember what it cost, but I mean, I picked these up off Amazon. Yeah, simple system. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. I've been running this system for probably 3 years now. I put it on all the coolers I build. These are commercial. They're not digital. It's not an Inkbird. It's not a Coolbot. I don't like digital. I've had Inkbird fail. I've never run a Coolbot myself, but it's just the same thing. When you're taking 120 and running relays that aren't really designed, these will take 16 amps each. You ain't gonna fry that out. If you hook it up correctly and you got it grounded, you're not gonna fry it out. So I think these are far better. These will outlast you. They'll outlast me. I run all these commercial controllers and they're not that expensive. You can find them on Amazon. Project box, dual gang box. I cut up an extension cord because I fried it out. I cut it on accidentally, closed the door on it, so it pinched the cord and fried it out. But yeah, it's that simple. I mean, it's Coolbot makes it you know, seem more confusing in Inkbird. You know, you can run 2 Inkbirds to do the same thing, but this is simplistic, and it's going to last you a lifetime. So, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask.